now I'm at a stage where everything is disassembled, a bit more in the planning stage, or in the next step anyway. So, go over some of my results here. So, some color testing that I was running, as far as my main colors, they're all going to be pearls. So this is a Pearl Apex Blue, the Pearl Electric Blue, Pearl Jade, and then Pearl Spearmint. So, the general idea is going to be the Apex Blue. See if I can't point some stuff out here. So the Apex Blue is going to be the soles of his feet and not that portion, the actual leg. And then the Electric Blue is going to be the shin cap, the ankle cap, this toe piece, and then the upper thigh. And then on the skirt, this dark piece is also going to be Electric Blue. But then this skirt is where Spearmint Green is going to come in and go up into the abdomen. Then here on the lower arms is going to be Spearmint, but then the upper arms is going to be Electric Blue, and then the shoulder, the chest is going to be Jade Green. The main portion of the head is also going to be Apex Blue, and then all of the yellow is... I guess I don't really have a good representation for that right now, but it is color shift lava. So it shifts from an orange to a yellow. So that's actually going to be used for everything, like including the hands and the joints. I've got all that set aside, the chest piece, the crown piece, and piece on the lance. The outside of the wings are going to be I think I showed this portion, but now I kind of know where I'm going with it. So it's going to be this aqua blue green color shift, along with some extra detailing on the outside. But then on the inside, I'm going to do a dark aluminum. No, the dark aluminum is going to be for the shaft of the lance and these top pieces on the shoulders, including these spikes. The inside is going to be airframe aluminum, so it's going to be a little bit more of a mirror finish. But I think I'm going to two-tone this one because this inside piece where the yellow is all different. So I can color this and then do the inside as airframe, and I might do some taping off on these intersections. I haven't decided if I want to tone those yet. And the underside of the back wing is just a solid color because there's only one line going through there. So that's where I'm sitting currently. Color-wise, everything is progressing. The thing that's stopping me from moving forward is actually these four pieces. These are the only four pieces that really have issues, but when you fully compress them, the front here forms a seam line, or no, not a seam line, a detail line. I'm losing it right now. The back side, however, has a seam line. That I need to take care of. And then it's the same with the shoulders, because these are a real smooth, they don't have a line there, but then when you compress them, you got this line breaking that up. So the two options that you can pretty much have is fill this line in and then sand it down smooth, which is what I'm going to do with the shoulders because they're kind of a solid piece. With the legs, I'm just going to take this back line and kind of carve it out a little bit more and turn it into a panel line. That's the word I was looking for, panel line. So I'm going to do that real quick, then these 4 pieces are going to get put up on pegs, and I'll start painting. So, probably not the best at it, but doing a panel line is actually quite simple. With the edge being flush here, all you really want to do is take your, and there are a couple ways to do this, but this is the fast, easy, and cheap way because I don't have some of the tools to do it easy. If I had a scribing set, I would actually just fuse these together and scribe this line in. But since I don't, you just take your blade and just kind of work the edge. It doesn't overly need to be much, I just need it to be a line that'll catch panel liner as it goes through. So I actually don't want it to be super deep. So I'm literally just using this as a way to hide this line. Just doing one side, it makes it a little more defined, but not quite to the point where it'll stick out. So like I said, pretty quick, easy fix, low maintenance. You just don't want to do too much because then the gapping actually gets to be a lot, and then when it's noticeable. Realistically, for what I'm going for, that's actually pretty close. Because once I'm going to clean it up with some sanding paper, and then once it's closed, it'll have this nice little gap that I can run some panel liner on. said, got that nice little line that's actually defined. So that's all I was going for with that. This one, while it's easy, is actually going to take a little bit longer. So what I'm going to do is just about fully compress it. And then I'm going to use extra thin cement. And this is purchased at a Hobby Lobby, so this stuff is actually really easy to find. And with the glue brush more or less full, you just want to kind of drop it in there. And it'll flow through the part. And when you're done, give it a good squeeze. All that excess comes out. And then that's what you're going to sand off to bring it smooth. And that'll take a few hours to dry, so I'll do the other one real quick and then move on. Should be all it needs. Like I said, just a little bit. Just hold it so that it'll kind of fuse, and I'll be able to sand that later. Alright, well, these are done as far as I'm going to do, so they're going to go off to paint. These are going to sit, but I'm going to start priming things. Alright, back a few hours later. Nice and dry. So, now we sand. Alright, and then that's pretty much what you're left with. Nice and smooth. Can't overly tell it's there. Feels good to the touch. I'm not seeing or feeling any like overall dips. So, buff it up a little bit. And there you have it. Pretty clean. doesn't overly doesn't overly show up on the camera very well, but you can still make out the line, which is why this the cement technique doing this way is really best for painting, because then you hide that line and you can paint over it. So this was the goal in what I was achieving, or goal in what I was hoping to achieve. A little bit of a idea there. Alright. Okay, so everything is primed. I was looking some things over, and so for the outside wings, I primed everything in a gray. Then everything else got primed in a flat black, although it looks a little shiny on camera. One thing you're going to notice after you prime is mold defects of the kit. And then you need to decide if you want to fix those. In this particular case, I'm not going to, because that particular spot isn't going to mess with what I'm going to do. But these shoulders came out nice. You can kind of see the faintest of the mold line there. But once you get a primer on them. It's not going to show that well. Let me try something. Oop. Stop shaking. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So, once you get these primed up, you can kind of see any of the defects. Still see a little bit of that line there. Biggest thing, if I can get it to shine right at the base there. There we go. That little nick that you can kind of see right there is a part that didn't quite file away that well. So I'm going to have to resand that a little bit. It's not going to take much. Then this will get reprimed. But this also lets you look at some of the defects that happen when you're holding it. So I've got this little smudge that I don't even know if you'll be able to see it, but like right there, that I'm going to have to sand down just to make sure it's flat, because otherwise that will bleed through into the final paint. And the other one kind of got the same thing. That one's actually a little more prominent there, so I'm going to sand that down. And same thing, actually I should have started with this one. This one's way more easy to see. So a little more sanding, then I'm going to reprime these. Everything else is good to go, so I'm going to be moving on to gloss black for everything that's matte black currently. Then everything that's gray is going to get the first coat of white, and then I'll move on to color.